When a banished cowboy captures a tribal leader's wife to ease his loneliness, he discovers she holds the key to his redemption and a conspiracy that could destroy both their worlds. The desert wind carries the scent of sage and regret across the Badlands of New Mexico Territory, 1878. Dust devils dance between the scattered bones of cattle, bleached white by an unforgiving sun that shows no mercy to the living or the dead. Tom Brennan crouches behind a boulder, his weathered hand steady despite the tremor in his soul. The Winchester rifle feels heavier than it should, weighted down by 3 months of exile and the gnawing ache of complete isolation. Below him, the Apache camp spreads along the riverbank like a living tapestry. Smoke rises from cooking fires. Children's laughter echoes off canyon walls. And there, drawing water from the stream, moves the woman who has haunted his dreams since the day he first saw her trading in Santa Fe. Ayanna, Windsong, wife of Chief Nalnish. Her raven hair catches the morning light as she bends to fill her clay vessel. The beaded doeskin dress clings to her graceful form, and Tom's chest tightens with a longing that has nothing to do with mere physical desire, and everything to do with the crushing weight of solitude. He's been alone for 93 days, counting, always counting. The territorial governor's words still ring in his ears. Thomas Brennan, you are hereby banished from all civilized territories for the crime of treason against the United States Army. Any attempt to return will result in immediate execution. Treason. The word tastes like copper pennies and broken promises. Tom adjusts his grip on the rifle. Not to kill. Never to kill. But sometimes a man gets so lonely, he makes choices that would have horrified the person he used to be. The plan is simple. Take the woman. Demand safe passage through Apache lands. Find somewhere beyond the reach of both white man's law and red man's vengeance. Live. But as Ayanna straightens, her dark eyes scanning the horizon with the instinctive wariness of someone who has survived too many raids, too many losses, Tom hesitates. She's beautiful, yes. But more than that, she carries herself with a dignity that reminds him of his sister Mary, dead these 5 years from consumption. The same proud tilt of the chin, the same refusal to bow before a world determined to break her. A twig snaps behind him. Tom spins, rifle raised, to find himself staring down the barrel of a Colt .45 held by a man he recognizes but hoped never to see again. Well, Tommy Brennan, heard you were dead. Captain Marcus Webb, Tom's former commanding officer, the man who destroyed his life with a single lie. Not dead yet, Marcus, though I hear you've been trying to remedy that. Webb's smile is all teeth and no warmth. Nothing personal, Tom. Just business. Can't have loose ends walking around telling tales about what really happened at Massacre Creek. The name hits Tom like a physical blow. Massacre Creek, where 37 Apache women and children died because Webb wanted their silver mine. Where Tom refused to participate and tried to warn the tribe. Where Webb branded him a traitor and had him court-martialed for the very crime Webb himself committed. What are you doing here, Marcus? Same thing you are, I'd wager. Looking for Chief Nalnish's woman. Difference is, I'm not planning to keep her for company. Tom's blood runs cold. What do you want with her? She knows where her husband hides his war chest. Enough gold and silver to fund a private army. With the right persuasion, she'll tell me everything. Below them, Ayanna continues her morning routine, unaware that 2 white men are deciding her fate with the casual indifference of gods. You're talking about torture, Tom says quietly. I'm talking about necessity. The Apache have been raiding supply trains, stealing army payroll. That gold belongs to the United States government. That gold belongs to people whose children you murdered. Webb's expression hardens. Careful, Tom. You're already a dead man. Don't make me kill you slow. But Tom has spent 3 months in the wilderness, living on jackrabbit and rainwater, haunted by the faces of the dead. He's got nothing left to lose, and everything to prove. Tell you what, Marcus, let's make this interesting. Tom's voice carries the quiet authority of a man who has looked death in the eye and found it wanting. We both want the woman, but only one of us is going to get her. You challenging me to a duel? How wonderfully old-fashioned. I'm challenging you to be the man you pretended to be when you wore that uniform. Webb considers this, his finger caressing the trigger of his Colt. Around them, the desert holds its breath. All right, Tom. But when I win, I get the woman and you get a bullet. When you lose, well, same result, really. They holster their weapons and step apart, the ancient ritual of the gunfight playing out against a backdrop of red stone and endless sky. On 3, Webb says. 1. Tom's mind races. He's faster than Webb, always has been. But speed won't matter if he's not fighting for the right reasons. 2. Below them, Ayanna looks up, her keen eyes spotting movement on the ridge. She drops her water vessel and runs toward the camp, shouting a warning in Apache. 3. Both men draw. Tom's Colt clears leather a heartbeat before Webb's, but instead of firing at his former captain, he puts a bullet into the ground at Webb's feet. Next one goes center mass, Tom warns. Webb freezes, his own weapon half raised. What's your game, Brennan? No game. Just a realization that I'm not going to become you no matter how far I fall. You're making a mistake. Maybe, but it's my mistake to make. Tom keeps his gun trained on Webb as Apache warriors pour up the hillside, their war cries echoing off the canyon walls. In seconds, they're surrounded by painted faces and drawn weapons. Chief Nalnish himself leads the charge, a man in his 50s with silver-streaked hair and eyes like flint. He speaks rapid Apache to his warriors, then switches to English. White men, you come to steal, to kill, to take what is not yours. Webb tries to bluster. I'm Captain Marcus Webb, United States Army. I demand safe passage. You demand nothing, Nalnish replies. You are in Apache land now, Apache law. Tom slowly holsters his weapon, hands raised. Chief Nalnish, I know you have no reason to trust me, but this man is your enemy. He's the one who ordered the attack on your people at Massacre Creek. Nalnish's eyes narrow. You were there. I was there. I tried to warn you, but I was too late. This man had me branded a traitor for it. And now you come to take my wife. Tom's throat tightens. No point in lying now. I was going to. I've been alone for 3 months, and loneliness makes a man do things he never thought he would. But I can't. I won't become him. He nods toward Webb, who is slowly backing away from the circle of Apache warriors. Your wife is safe from me, but not from him. Nalnish studies Tom's face for a long moment, reading the truth written in the lines of exhaustion and regret. You speak straight tongue? I do. Then you will prove it. The chief barks an order in Apache. 2 warriors seize Webb, who struggles and curses as they bind his hands. Wait, Tom says. What are you going to do with him? Apache justice. He killed our children. He dies. Tom feels the weight of moral complexity settling on his shoulders like a lead blanket. Webb deserves to die for what he did at Massacre Creek, but watching him tortured to death won't bring back the dead children or heal Tom's wounded soul. Chief, I have a different idea. Nalnish raises an eyebrow. You would bargain for his life? I would bargain for justice. Real justice. Tom takes a deep breath, knowing that his next words will determine not just Webb's fate, but his own path toward redemption. This man has committed crimes against both our peoples. Let me take him back to face trial. Let the truth about Massacre Creek be told in a court of law. White man's justice is no justice, Nalnish says bitterly. Maybe not, but it's a chance for the truth to be heard. And sometimes that's all we can ask for. The chief considers this, his weathered face unreadable. Around them, the warriors wait for his decision. And what of you, Thomas Brennan? You came to steal my wife. What justice for that? Tom meets the chief's gaze steadily. Whatever justice you think is fair. I won't run, I won't fight. I'll accept whatever punishment you decide. Ayanna steps forward, speaking rapidly in Apache. Tom catches a few words. His name, the word for truth, something that might be mercy. Nalnish listens to his wife, then nods slowly. My wife says you have honest eyes. She says the spirits whisper that you are not our enemy. I'm not, I never was. Then prove it. Take this man to your courts. Tell the truth about Massacre Creek. If you succeed, you are welcome in Apache lands. If I fail, I'll come back and face whatever punishment you decide. And if you run? Tom thinks about the 3 months of exile, the crushing loneliness, the slow erosion of everything he once believed about himself. I won't run. I'm tired of running. The chief nods once, a gesture of grudging respect. Then go. But know this, we will be watching, always watching. As the Apache warriors escort Webb down the hillside, Ayanna approaches Tom. Up close, she's even more beautiful. But it's her eyes that capture him. Dark pools of wisdom and strength that seem to see straight through to his soul. You could have taken me, she says in accented but clear English. Why didn't you? Tom considers the question, searching for words that can encompass the complexity of his decision. Because taking you wouldn't have filled the emptiness inside me. It would have just made it bigger. She nods as if this makes perfect sense. Loneliness is not cured by stealing someone else's life. It is cured by finding your own purpose again. And what if I don't have a purpose anymore? Ayanna smiles, and for a moment the harsh desert landscape seems less forbidding. Everyone has a purpose. Sometimes we just have to travel far from home to find it. She turns to go, then pauses. Thomas Brennan. When you have told your truth to the white man's courts, come back. There is always room by our fires for a man who chooses honor over comfort. As she walks away, Tom feels something shift inside his chest. Not the desperate hunger of loneliness, but something warmer and more sustainable. Hope, maybe. Or just the possibility of hope. The journey back to civilization takes 2 weeks. Webb alternates between threats and attempts at bribery, but Tom remains unmoved. He's made his choice, and for the first time in months, it feels like the right one. The trial in Santa Fe becomes a sensation. Tom's testimony, corroborated by evidence Webb thought he destroyed, exposes the truth about Massacre Creek. Webb is convicted of murder and conspiracy, sentenced to hang. But the real victory isn't Webb's conviction. It's the moment when Tom stands before the territorial governor and hears the words he never thought he'd hear again. Thomas Brennan, in light of new evidence, your conviction for treason is hereby overturned. Your exile is ended. You are free to go wherever you choose. Free. The word tastes like clean water after a long drought. Tom knows where he's going. 3 days later, he rides into the Apache camp with supplies, medicine, blankets, tools, not as payment or bribery, but as gifts between friends. Chief Nalnish greets him with a nod of approval. You kept your word. I said I would. Many white men say many things. Few mean them. That evening, Tom sits by the fire, sharing a meal with people who were strangers a month ago and now feel like family. Ayanna sits across from him, her husband's hand resting protectively on her shoulder. You found your purpose, she observes. I think so. Or maybe it found me. And the loneliness? Tom looks around the fire at the faces illuminated by the dancing flames. Children playing at the edge of the light. Elders sharing stories. Young couples stealing glances at each other. Still there, he admits. But different now. Less desperate. More patient. Nalnish leans forward. There is a woman in the next valley, widow of a warrior. She has been alone since the soldiers killed her husband. Perhaps... Tom holds up a hand, smiling. Perhaps, but not yet. I need to learn how to be alone without being lonely first. Then maybe I'll be ready to be with someone without needing them. Ayana nods approvingly. Wisdom. As the fire burns down to embers, Tom reflects on the journey that brought him here. 3 months ago, he was a broken man planning to commit a terrible act out of desperation and loneliness. Tonight, he's still alone, but he's no longer lonely. The difference, he realizes, is purpose. Connection. The knowledge that he belongs somewhere, even if that somewhere isn't what he expected. In the distance, a coyote calls to its pack. Tom listens to the wild song and understands, perhaps for the first time, that being alone and being lonely are not the same thing. He has found his pack, his purpose, his path back to the man he was meant to be. And sometimes that's enough. If this tale of redemption and unexpected friendship moved you, smash that subscribe button for more untold stories of the American frontier. Next week, we're diving into The Preacher's Gamble, where a man of God must choose between his faith and his gun when outlaws take his congregation hostage. Don't miss this epic showdown between good and evil.